All right, hi everybody. It's 9 o'clock. We're going to get started. Me, Dana, and Julianne are here. Our fourth rotating guest slot this year this time is being generously taken up by Will Myers from Chicago, who's offered to step in and guest host with us for the week.
Hi.
For the best parts of the game.
Hi, Will.
And here we go.
Wind.
Yeah, sadly we have to do this boring dungeon before we get to like the really cool stuff.
I kind of like this one. It just there's not a lot to talk about musically in it, but I always enjoyed playing this part.
I remember seeing 100 tech points, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Because that's by far more than any other fight you can get right now.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, last minute queer theory cram session. That sounds fantastic. So, for those of us stuck in the Midwest, Karen, what's your paper tomorrow? Okay, Saturday. You have time.
Oh yeah. It's only Thursday.
It's last minute-ish.
There was
Which is an important distinction in academia.
There has been one conference talk, and I won't tell you which one, that I did continue to make changes, like the night before I had to give it.
Oh, like all of mine?
Yeah, every single one of mine. And you can probably
Yeah, that's like
tell.
par for the course.
Oh no, I'm so uncomfortable with that. Normally I like to have everything timed down to the second, like a stage performance.
I do that too. I'm just
that.
practicing it until right before I do it.
I'm not quite like James Wiersbicky level of preparation, where if you look at his text that he reads tomorrow, he will have stage directions written out for himself in the text. Like, raise your arm at this point, or like, make sure people laugh at this point. It's pretty awesome, actually. If I was really on top of my game, I would be like him. But I'm never that prepared.
Yeah, we had a special shout out in the pre-stream to all of our colleagues who are at Music in the Moving Image this weekend, which is a fantastic conference.
All of us actually wish we were there instead of in the Midwest talking about Chrono Trigger tonight, but...
Yeah. And I'm missing it because I have a bachelorette party on Saturday.
That's a pretty good excuse. Me and Julianne are just bums.
I've never been. I didn't even. I'm trying to like do no conferences until I get a chapter done.
That is good,
It's
and
very
I will tell you from
responsible of you.
experience that you won't hold yourself to it.
I can't. I've already messed up. I went to Society for Cinema Media Studies, but
That's in Chicago, though, right?
that was in Chicago, so that was like, oh, it's only up the street.
Yeah, that
but I
doesn't
still
count.
like,
Yeah, that's...
it's still like the whole conference experience and like the actual writing of the paper is like so much easier than, I mean, in many ways, not always, easier than like really smart prosy writing. So trying to hold myself back.
Honestly, every time I go to a conference, I gain inspiration from from most of the people here, actually, on how to get my own stuff done. It's always helpful to me. I always get more done right after a conference.
Yeah. You get like a boost because you're like, all of these people are better and smarter than me, and I have to work.
That's right. I am a nobody. How am I even in this field?
I am glad I'm not the only one who feels that way.
It's the cycle of the imposter syndrome where, like, right after the conference, you're like, well, I kind of can hang with these people. But I really need to do about 80 things right this second.
Yeah, you get so much, like, inspiration momentum from just talking to people.
And I will say, it's always a compliment when, like, people I adore think that I'm worth something. Because, like, at NACFAGUM in January, after I presented, we were all, like, packing up. I was after the session, right? We're all going for break. And Reba Vissner comes up to me and she's like, Ryan, how are you so smart? And I was like, wait. Like, you are an amazing person, and I show up and I talk about some stuff.
Yeah. She's an amazing human being.
Absolutely.
I also play around here. Fun times.
Woo.
And battle. That's why we're kind of, like, not really talking about it.
Yeah, sorry, we will actually talk about Chrono Trigger once we get to something that's not just the battle theme.
something new.
This is now the 4th full week of Chrono Trigger, and like all JRPGs, this theme is old by now. We don't have anything else to say on it.
We have talked about the battle music quite a bit. We've beaten it to death.
Have you guys talked about the wind sound and how great it is?
Yes,
Oh,
we have.
so
Final Fantasy VI.
yeah, it's the same wind sound as in Final Fantasy VI, which is now like the 12th time we've said that. And it is a really great wind sound, though. It's the best.
Best one now. Best. It's splendid.
I like your mug, Ryan.
Oh yeah, sorry, only my fellow host can see it, but yeah, I've got a fun penguin mug. I painted it, actually. Yeah, there's an awesome little pottery store in town where, like, for 10 or 12 bucks, you can buy whatever piece of pottery is up there. I mean, big pieces run you more money, obviously, but the mug wasn't
Ryan,
that
I can
bad.
barely hear you.
Oh, am I soft?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
That's better.
Okay. I was saying there's a pottery store in Lafayette where you just go, you pay to pick up the pottery, basically, and all the paint is free, and they fire it for you. It's all built into the cost.
Oh, that's great.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. In theory, if I was, like, super on top of things, I could route out a second pair of headphones as a monitor for this, but I'm not doing that right now, I confess.
I could just sit here and play it all on violin.
I've got like a viola which I could bust out, but I doubt anyone would want to hear that.
Do it!
Man, we could play duets via Skype.
Yeah, that always goes really well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Alright, now I've run around and gotten everything. Now I actually have to play the game.
Good old pentatonic scale. Woo! Just the same thing the whole time, right?
Yeah, this track is the same thing the whole time.
It's a little higher key than mine. Hard to tune to a video game.
I feel like video game sound chips, like, they tend sharp. I don't know.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Nice.
Okay, so everyone's making fun of me
We don't know what to say right now.
for underleveling Dana about a month ago in Final Fantasy VI. I have to say, between this time and 2 weeks ago, I have done an exorbitant amount of leveling off stream to ensure that that doesn't happen.
What did you say? I missed it when you luminared.
So you luminared yourself out.
So I'm assuming you were talking about leveling up so that you would get luminaire.
I was, yes. Hold on, my CPU usage is off the charts. Let me help with that a little bit. See if that helps at all. So I did a ton of off-stream leveling. Partly because characters we don't really plan on using again, Isla, Robo, all have to be used one more time. And like, I didn't want to get to a side quest and not be able to do it. So everybody is really good now. I think that if I really wanted to, we could get the 4th bonus ending by just killing Lavos the first time you fight him. I think I'm actually going to have to intentionally lose that fight.
Ryan, you keep cutting out for me. I don't know if that's the same for anybody else.
Yeah, it's quiet for me too.
Yeah, same here.
I can hear the game loud and clear though.
Yeah.
Alright, I have to assume that's because I'm pushing my computer to do more than it's supposed to. But as long as the people on the stream are fine, I think it's going to have to be fine.
Well, if it's good for the stream, since everybody seems to say it's fine, then I don't know what to do.
Who knows?
I think that's a side effect of you guys hearing me through Skype versus the people watching me hearing me through Twitch on a
Maybe
slight
I can
delay.
make you louder somehow.
I just won't talk during Luminaire. What really needs to happen is Addie needs to hear back on these job interviews she's been going to and see if I can get a new computer if she gets a job.
I'm like almost out of my beverage. That's how little we've had to say here so far.
Yeah, sorry, this dungeon's boring, folks. That's all there is to it.
This is the worst part of the game.
It is the Mount of Woe, so like, it's supposed to be boring, I guess.
It's okay, I have lots of fun options. Things to have tonight.
Here, speaking of fun options, we get to try a new toy here.
Huh?
LaCroix?
No, a new toy. Luca learned Flare. Wait, there was live Dirty Dancing? As in...
Oh my god, it was so bad.
Okay.
I love Dirty Dancing too.
Yeah.
Havana Nights.
Excuse you, Kate. Dirty Dancing 2 is a treasure because Diego Luna is a stunning human being.
He's great. He really is. That's why I like him.
Being able to get through that movie is the neat.
I can totally agree.
I actually have a rule that I'm not allowed to start Dirty Dancing 2 unless I'm drunk already. It works really well. Dirty Dancings are just paragons of amazing, entertaining filmmaking. I won't say good filmmaking because I don't think either movie is good. But the dancing is really good. Patrick Swayze was not a bad lead, all told. And that is the hardest thing to learn how to do.
All right, we're gonna get some music that's not just wind.
Yes!
It's amazing.
I'm nervous.
What?
Not even gonna know what to do with ourselves.
The boss theme that plays for this boss,
And that's the same sound effect from,
I associate this boss
nothing.
fight... Oh no, this is a normal boss. I thought it was the secondary boss music. My bad, never
Oh.
mind, I guess.
Oh yeah, this is.
Yeah, I thought we
Seems
got
like
the
it
big...
would be secondary boss music.
I feel like he should be big secondary boss. Like, in my mind, that's what I was expecting.
Yeah, especially because he is large. And like not like a tiny like Nesbel moving across the screen or something.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the primary boss music. It still has that kind of mixture of rock, beats, and instruments as well as the brass.
militaristic almost.
Yeah.
But never the way it's used here, because as we have talked about, one of the big tricks of the game is using instrumentation that represents a certain concept, but using it in a way that doesn't really focus the topic.
It also has like a Spanish Phrygian vibe going on too.
Which I've also said the same thing of Final Fantasy IV's boss music. That's got a very Spanish vibe to it. If anybody
Huh.
can-
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
hard
can
to
see
think
that
of
for
it
sure.
in the context of this, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm having a really tough time, like, audiating Final Fantasy IV's music at the
You know,
moment.
It's so different. I mean, not so different, but like, you know, in our small world of JRPGs, it's so different. But like, the secondary boss music is like purely orchestral instrumentation, so it sort of eliminates the residue of like the battle rock, prog rock influence, and sort of, I don't know, uses only orchestral intensity kind of qualifier.
One of the boss tracks was arranged by Nobuo Uematsu, right? I don't remember which one.
I always get tripped up on that.
Yeah, I never remember which stuff except for Isla's material and the 65 million BC.
I know it'll be chaos. The Final Fantasy IV theme is the.
Yes, thank you.
Etc.
That's a regular battle, right?
No, that's
Yeah,
the
you're right,
boss.
that's
Oh wait,
regular battle.
yep, that is regular battle.
Yep. I misspoke. But yeah, that one always had kind of a Spanishy thing for me.
Huh.
I think it's the little turn in there. I don't know.
Well, it was definitely a Celtic influence according to Uematsu, and
Really?
according to the
Yeah, the arranged album
that
is
he
Celtic
released.
Moon, and Enya's on it, I
Celtic
think.
Moon, yes. What? It's great. That was like the first original
it's
album
pretty
I ever
weird.
had.
It's pretty fantastic, though. You should track it down. I have a question for everybody about this piece of music, which is why I paused.
About
Yeah.
the cathedral.
Do we associate this with Melchior before this point?
No, I associate it with the cathedral.
Because that's the first time you hear it.
Right.
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
but we've heard it with Melchior in the house, right?
No, Corridors
No,
of
that
Time
was
plays in
one
the
of the
house.
Zeal themes.
The Zeal theme
Wasn't
plays
it?
in the house.
Mhm.
That was what?
The Zeal theme
was
plays in the
Zeal.
Oh, it
house.
was Zeal. Okay.
To hint that, like, oh, he's not from here.
Right, you're right. Yeah.
So I just looked it up, and the boss battle music we just heard is the one that's arranged by Nobuo Uematsu and written by Noriko Matsueda, who I'm not familiar with.
Very nice.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think you can do
Yay, a
pictures
lady
in
was
Twitch
there.
chat, by the way.
Yeah.
And if you've ever participated in a
Yeah.
Twitch chat that's not
It's
this
like the early
one,
Castlevania.
you'll know there's a very good reason for that.
I made a big deal of that at the, like the program notes for the recital that my kids put on. Like, lady composers in early games. It's amazing. Konami was, like, killing it with hiring ladies in the 80s.
Ladies in the 80s.
Capcom as
Yeah,
well,
that's-
Street Fighter 2 and Mega Man, right?
Capcom, yeah. Capcom and Konami did a nice job of having some ladies on staff. Oh, I love this one.
So, I forget where I saw it. There was either a video or an article online. So I will find out who and credit it in the YouTube comments when we finally post this on YouTube. But somebody was talking about how important chromatic descent is to this soundtrack. And it's absolutely
How
on
important
display.
chromatic descent is?
Yeah, there are a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
pieces that have some sort of chromatic descent.
Certainly in the secondary boss theme. That's the first one I think of.
I wonder if you could tie that into like a Lamento bass topos. I'm not really sure where to go with it, but that's like the first thing that I think about.
Exactly.
I'd have to read the article, though, because to me, like, chromatic descent, that just seems like that's a thing that you can do to cause an effect. It seems kind of generic, so I'd be curious, like, what specifically is the argument that they construct?
Yeah, it was
out
a
of
better
the fact
argument than
they
that. I wish I
notice
had
a
it
lot
on
of
hand.
this?
If I was really prepared,
Yeah.
I would have it on hand, but I'm
Yeah,
not, as
sometimes
usual.
a chromatic descent is just a chromatic descent. Yeah,
I mean,
think that-
there's chromatic descent, like we talked about in 6, with, like, kind of the also Sprach Zarathustra thing. There's chromatic,
I'm a lot more comfortable making those types of connections in 6 than I am here, believe it or not.
yeah, 6 is aiming for such an orchestral bent.
right. It's sort of already drawing from
Right.
all that stuff, like topic theory, and would apply more readily.
One thing that I've always loved about this track is the warmth of the bass contrasted. Well, now we switch themes, but the warmth of the bass contrasted the flute and the kind of cool timbre. A lot of
Oh, yeah.
play with. Did I notice?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to switch themes there. I would have stopped. That's my bad.
All right.
That's a good point, though.
It is.
There's a lot of, what I have always read as hot and cold in this score, because some of the juxtapositions of the instruments are really unusual, and I think it sort of highlights the cool versus warm timbres. Like all of those tracks that are using kind of a gamelan often incorporate warmer textures as well.
I really like that you get the ruby knife here.
Yeah.
And it's left to you to puzzle together what exactly you've been given.
building on your last point, Dana, there's also a lot of tracks. I think one of the things that you're getting at is the registral spacing between like a lot of high register and stuff in the low register and nothing in the middle, which gives this really kind of like, I don't know, it's a pretty stark sound.
Yeah.
It's pretty, like, empty, but not in like a bad way. It's just like an empty emotional character.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's partially a registral issue, it's partially just the natural timbre of the instruments, but it's also, you're right, they're implying a lot of space.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Black Moment, which we're coming up on.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember exactly when that happens.
That one.
Yeah, in video game music, it's really important. I mean, traditionally, like, trying to portray hot and cold, especially in, like, platformers and levels, where it's, like, the snow level versus the lava level and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It kind of has, like, kind of a rich history.
Yeah. And then that association is really solidified for you by the environment that you're in, so you kind of learn to associate, especially at the NES, you know.
Oh,
A lot of timbres get used over and over again, but depending on the textural density and kind of the rhythmic complexity, you might associate something as being warmer because it's more active, and they totally play on that.
Yeah, a fun thematic
like
thing.
The point about the games teaching that to you. Yeah, sorry.
Oh no,
Oh, yeah.
that's my bad. A fun thematic thing about Chrono Trigger that's very subtle that I've always liked is that you see the Laruba ruins in the time period we ended last week, in the long distant past, the people without magic. And then Lavos falls, the Repetites lose, we understand that humans gain magic at this point, it leads to this town. Humans only prosper in Chrono Trigger when Lavos gives them cool stuff to play with. Like, all the humans without Lavos, that is, the Laruba Ruins people, the Earthbound ones, the people in the future, they're all destitute, and, like, they don't have anything. Like, not just technology and magic, but, like, comfortable homes and lives, like, what we would consider normal medieval life. They don't have any of that. It's all Lavos. They're all dependent on him. And I feel like the game does a good job of reinforcing the idea of some codependency between humanity and Lavos. There's supposed to be a shop here, and I forget where, but I'm going to try to find it.
I didn't catch your very last sentence, but I think that's interesting. You know, as far as we try to get away from politics on this.
You know, we need like a clock. How long do we make it in the stream? Not very long this time. Usually we can get a bit further.
Problematic of consumption and like sourcing. You know, knowing that like Nestle is a bad company. And they should, you know, basically lobbyists, right?
I feel like it's hard to avoid that political angle when the game has something called the Mammon Machine in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Well, can't find it, that's okay. We'll live without whatever upgrade was there. Up we go. I swapped out Frog, by the way, for the sake of the plot. I feel like Marl has cooler dialogue with Scala and pendant stuff than he does.
I always thought it was Shala.
I'm Team Scala. I think we talk about this every time.
Depends on whether she's German or Italian.
Exactly.
I think that reflects our own heritage more than it reflects anything we know about the game.
I know. A little bit.
God, that intro is so good.
I love how transcendently happy the Corridors of Time theme is. Then you arrive in Zeal, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the Corridors of Time is just shimmering and paradise. And this one, we've got that creepy drone, the high string.
There's definitely like an undercurrent of I don't know, like melancholy or something to Corridors of Time.
Yeah.
It's
I think the echo has something to do with it, right? It's got kind of a nostalgic.
yeah. Well, and it's also it like leans on flat six a lot, so it has like a Lydian quality, which always for me for whatever reason always feels like pretty bittersweet.
Yeah.
Lydian
Yeah,
to me always
it's
implies
definitely-
space. Like outer space. Did we already mention, as we get this boss thing again, did we already mention the fact that the drone, that high string drone happens as well, and then it carries through Zeal?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that before. No, we've not mentioned that.
Little subtle connection there. While he dies, I'm going to post a link to my high school students' spring video game music recital that we put on a
Can't be
couple weeks
beaten
back.
now. Oh yeah.
And folks may be interested because there was a Chrono Trigger arrangement on the recital. So I actually posted a comment that friend Earl, who took care of the filming, pinned that has the exact track listing, and you can jump right to whichever one you want to hear.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. Featuring music from Katamari, Dragon Warrior 3, Super Mario Bros. 2, Shadow of the Colossus, Mega Man 3, Castlevania, Zelda 2, and a bunch of others.
Okay,
Ooh.
so I realize this is not the game's final stage. And in fact, the final area does have unique music. But this track feels like prototypical final
It
area
seems Final
JRPG
Dungeon-y.
music.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to everybody? I don't know how to put my finger quite on what that means. The strings certainly help with that in timbre.
Ryan, I wish I could hear you, but like I'm sure the stream heard you fine. But like I
Yeah, I'm having...
cut
some
off
trouble.
for me for the last part, but I totally agree that this has, oh no, now it switched, but this total final dungeon, especially also the pacing of the game too.
And we only got it for like a second there, because now we're back to Zeal.
I know, they're like, oh, whatever.
Right. Well, we will hear plenty of the Ocean Palace theme. There's no
Yeah.
worries about that. This is a long dungeon.
It's a
Yeah.
long dungeon. There we go.
Now that it's back, I'd love to point out the panning, although it's maybe hard to hear through the stream feed, but if you listen to like the soundtrack version separately, the ostinato pans from right to left a lot, which I think is one of the first tracks in the game that does that, and it happens a lot and towards the end of the game in some of the other tracks too.
It's true, yeah. Every time it goes, dun dun dun, dun dun dun, that's in a different ear for me right now. Every time it does that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And it gives it this great sense of like open space, and yeah, and it's something that really gets developed over like this track, and the final boss theme does it a lot, and a few others do too.
Yeah, we were talking about that with I think all of the battle music has some sort of instrument or instruments in the file just obsessively panning back and forth, and it's sort of mild, but like it kind of gets built up and definitely more intense on this track, and more intense in these later tracks that are more meaningful, less repetitive. It's certainly like definitely a Chrono Trigger soundtrack element that's pretty pervasive.
Well, it's pretty unique too. I feel like not a lot of other, even though it seems like a relatively like basic technical thing that you can do. Not a lot of video game music plays with it in such a like obvious way as the soundtrack does.
Sure.
And if we want to get kind of flowery about it, I think that you can say that it's doing a number of different things. One of them is that it's a little disorienting, and so it's happening often in places where it's like you're losing your footing a little bit. A little bit more out there is the idea that you're exploring the same spaces in this game through different times, and so the same space is shifting constantly, and I think that that's really well echoed in the panning that's happening.
I feel like it also makes it more immersive. It feels like you're being surrounded by the sound, like surround sound. And like, and I think when we get, I don't know, how far down the line it is, I don't remember how long the end of the game takes, but the final boss, it's like it's circling around you, which feels pretty intense.
Yeah,
When you look at that photo in particular.
Yeah.
Should also note that this is in my favorite key of F minor. Yay!
I'm curious to know how many tracks of this soundtrack feature like running ostinatos, because the past 6 tracks we've heard, I feel like all have them.
Yeah,
to the point where like more than your average expectation has it.
There's a lot of bass ostinati and certainly a lot of this kind of panning, frenetic upper high register ostinato.
Yeah.
That's everywhere too.
But particularly the string thing. The string drone has that kind of like just eternal unsettling to it. Nothing is okay.
Also, there's a tiny quote of Magus's theme in this one too. I think it's basically the same quote that happens in Shala's theme, but it's past it.
Isn't this part right now a little Magus theme-y, but or maybe not?
Yeah, that's like the B section.
Yeah.
Oh right, I've been in all these rooms and I forgot to hit the button. Not awesome of me.
It's so satisfying. Ostinatos are fun.
Are we also dealing with Impossible Symphony here? Is it not fast enough to be too impossible?
This seems viable to me. I'm only hearing the one note right now.
Then it goes up a step? Is that okay? I don't know.
So we're coming up on the quotation. Is Magus right? Isn't it here? This,
Yeah, it's right here.
that whole thing.
Yeah, and then but it's only that first, the half scale coming down, Yeah, and you really hear a lot of this theme because it doesn't switch into the battle theme here.
This is basically a waltz, right?
6 to 8. Times.
It's a minuet.
Yeah, there you go. dance.
If you were like a vampire or something, you could dance to this.
I would like to see that.
I once learned how to dance a German minuet as a man at the Society for 17th Century Music Conference because they were short on dudes. So, you know, I'm gonna get all the hot young floor lines.
What is this instrument? Like flute, and then it like switches to horn, but they're sort of adjacent.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like some, you know, weird MIDI piccolo trumpet or something to me.
Well, yeah, it reminds me of the Final Fantasy VI, like wrongly vibrato clarinet over that throughout that soundtrack.
I
Good
just
point
saw
in
it in
the
the comments. Yeah.
Yeah. The music in this level persists throughout the battles, and I like, it just got real vibe. We also noticed that in Magus' Castle, where we have the drone persisting over everything.
Yeah, and it's we were talking about how it like kind of focuses into like a kind of a more of a narrative or like intense directed drive towards something rather than these constant interruptions and the constant switch between like I'm doing this thing in the game versus like, oh, I'm just doing another battle, you know?
Yeah. It has kind of an interminable quality too. Like, it makes you more annoyed with the dungeon and you notice how long it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also that, as much as we like are annoyed by the repetitive battle music, the fact that it interrupts like the dungeon music is actually sometimes nice. So I wonder if this dungeon is actually not as long as we think.
But a lot of these things are just plays for manipulating player attention and anxiety levels. When these happen in dungeons.
And yeah, and like goal directedness too, because when the music doesn't interrupt you, I think you stay more. At least for me, I find myself more focused on getting through the dungeon rather than like, oh, what's in this room? I want to find all the things here.
Huh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
There
a
are a
really
couple
good
things to find
YouTube
here.
series on dungeons specifically by a guy named Mark Brown. If you're interested in game design, you should definitely look him up. But he talks about the Legend of Zelda, and he analyzes each game, and he decides what makes Zelda games great is that they have dedicated spaces that really encourage you to process them as complete spaces. They don't test your action skills necessarily. They don't test your reflexes. They test your spatial awareness. And I feel like the connectivity in the music here invites that. That we think of this as a single cohesive challenge to be done. I don't have one yellow dude fight, and then I'm done, and then I have like a blue dude fight. I have to understand that you need somebody with water magic. You need somebody with lightning powers. You need somebody with fire powers. And how to understand how all that gameplay interacts is important and vital
that's
to
great.
completing the dungeon. It's a unit. It's not an individual challenge each time.
That's really... What was I going to say about that? I lost my train of thought. That was so good. It's really fitting for the design of this dungeon because so many of the rooms are pretty massive that you only ever get to see a small piece of them at any given time.
Yes.
Yeah, like the
Like that
previous
for-
room, I had to hit all those 4 blue switches to get to this area. I mean, it's not Zelda-level complex, but it's still a giant unit. It's not a single room at a time linear.
Yeah. This is a really convoluted dungeon. I remember all the kind of wandering around the outer edges, and then, oh, now I'm in this part of that same big room that I was in before.
Well, it's made easier if you have Luminaire and Flare, for sure. I don't think you're supposed to have these yet.
I'm always on board with getting stuff early, over-leveling, learning all of the spells. That's
Overkill.
How I play.
Me
That is
too.
how I-
And yes, from the chat, thank you. The name of that series is Boss Keys on YouTube. He just posted an amazing musicological analysis of Breath of the Wild's music. Well worth your time to look up.
look it up and post a link.
Be warned that it does have some spoilers for the new Zelda game.
Alright. Here's a link to his channel.
I just got through that without hitting anybody. I'm so good at this game.
Yeah, I remember trying to do that.
How good are you? Oh, that wasn't gonna be like an old timey joke. I'm so good at this game.
I am going to bookmark this. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got 2 computers going tonight, so I'm a lot quicker with the link retrieval.
Nice.
Fancy.
Also, where's that Zelda game where you play as Zelda and you're just retrieving Link? That'd be amazing.
I really
Yeah, I
wanted
keep
Breath of the
waiting for that to
Wild
happen.
to be playable by both characters. You could change
I
the
know,
narrative
it's
only
so great.
slightly and enable that.
I have always
Yep.
felt that is what they should do.
Oh. That sounds so cool. I want that to happen.
Because even when you get to play as a lady, you don't get to rescue dudes. Look at Metroid. Or
Yeah.
Mario 2, you're not rescuing Mario if you play as the princess. Of course, all my examples are super old, so if anybody can think of a really good game where, like, the badass chick is flipping the trope in a satisfying way, hit us up.
Tomb Raider does that. You're trying to save the male figure for most of the first 3/4 of that game, the new one.
Oh, the new one. I was gonna say, really? I was like, do I not remember any of Tomb Raider?
I'm not the newest one, because there's 2 games in the rebooted series now, but the one entitled Tomb Raider for Xbox 360 and PS3 originally.
Oh yeah, I have that one. Okay.
It's very good, well worth your time.
I should play it.
Alright, now can I use my shelter and dodge those 2 dudes? Yes, I can.
God, I love the piano in this track.
That low.
Low register piano, which is used so effectively in this soundtrack as we already discussed.
It just gives me this joyful image of being at my grandparents' house and playing on their piano, and playing the really low keys that you never actually really use when you play piano.
Yeah.
That's why you just that low A, and just hear it resonating.
It's like almost transgressive. It's like no one plays this game.
I think it also
But,
helps give it the sense of like a large space as well, like we were talking about earlier.
I was gonna just say too, yeah, that it also that it's so high in the mix, along with instruments that would naturally be quite loud and quite overpowering of like the piano. It's another way it's kind of disorienting is that the instruments don't really have a kind of, they don't sort of sit naturally. Oh wait, now we're in the act of the battle. But yeah, the instruments don't quite sit naturally in terms of like music properties, like all the keys and it's kind of another sort of thing.
So the battle music coming in here actually tells you that you've made significant progress.
Yeah. This is a
Yeah.
battle, right? Don't you get a few in a row to this without the music changing?
Yeah, it's
Correct. Yeah.
like a trope of elevator, like repetitive elevator battle music. I mean battles. Or like, it's all over this game, and it's on other games too, where you're on some sort of moving thing, and the monsters just come at you and come at you and come at you and come at you. It's
Like when
my
you're leaving
least
the factory
favorite.
in FF6.
Yeah, it's like my absolute least favorite like ludic thing in video games.
Like
Of course, in that
the
one,
corridor of
in
enemies.
that one, it's the hero. It's that heroic theme. It's not the battle theme, like this one.
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Right, they do it the same.
I know it's not related to the music specifically, but a quick aside, I really like that for the ranged characters, if they're close to somebody, like instead of shooting her bow, Mara will run up and whack the dude in the face. We'll have to see if I have the opportunity to demo that again.
Well, we talk about wanting more badass female. I also want one that like wields the sword. What? I mean, we get guns. That's kind of cool. Like, that's a little transgressive. You never get the sword.
Yeah.
We often have ranged weapons. Why is that?
Yeah, and you have to remember that in video games, guns are weaker than swords, right? My whole
Guns are
joke
weaker
talk
than
at AMS After Dark was on that exact topic.
I mean, it also implies an inability to like be hit because you're like in the back, which is just a really frustrating trope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You're a healer or you have a gun, and so you can be in the back and you can kind of, you know, watch everyone's back.
Ooh, let us at the sharp things. That's not
This is why-
exactly...
This is why Buffy was so amazing, right? She had a freaking steak.
That's right, Buffy uses the sharp things.
I want a steak. I'm hungry.
Oh, wordplay.
I can't believe they never made that joke in the entirety of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That is surprising.
I feel like that's
So surprising.
pretty
I almost
low-hanging
don't believe you're
fruit.
saying that, but-
I mean, I may just be forgetting it, but I feel like I would have remembered that.
Have there been any Buffy video games?
No, I don't think so.
And if so, why not?
I feel like it was early enough that like the like whole thing of like having like bad video game spin-offs of TV shows like hadn't quite kicked into gear yet.
You owe that trope to your choice of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies or Harry Potter. One quick gameplay aside, I really like these monsters that force you to choose the correct element. If you hit them with the wrong spell, they absorb it and then shoot you really hard. But it makes Isla and Robo complete garbage for this dungeon. You have to have Chrono and Luca, and your choice of Marl or Frog. Otherwise, you're absolutely boned for this dungeon.
They're trying to try elemental you. Come on.
I feel like there should be some shadow ones mixed in, though, to make Robo useful.
Okay, is this lava? Like, what is this floor here?
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
I'm like, okay, can you just pause right here for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
This has always bothered me from like a depth perception angle.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Where does the door and the floor sit in relation
I
to
know.
the statues coming
It's
out
like-
of...
It's like the parting of the Red Sea almost.
Okay, I think the stream can see my mouse.
Ah.
So, up here is the floor
Oh,
that we were on. Watch this. I'll go around. Oh, I can't anymore. Oh, haha, I can. I'm
yeah,
amazing.
so-
Okay,
oh.
so now we're up
Oh,
here.
They take an elevator.
Yep, this is the same level. You take a hidden elevator down,
Yeah.
and now we're beneath. So it's like in a mall, right? Like you're on the first floor, and this walkway up here is the second floor.
I think what bugs me is that the height of the door down to the floor doesn't look the same as like the height of the surrounding stuff that's just rising above the whatever it is.
I do agree with that, and I do kind of think this is crap as well, but I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and justify it.
It is so not important. It's just that has always bugged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cathartic to talk through this with y'all right now.
Oh, I need to get my mouse off the stream. That's annoying.
Chrono
Hold on.
catharsis.
There's so many of those 2D games like this that you actually miss out on like a section of the dungeon because you just thought there was a wall, or you didn't realize, or vice versa, you thought something was walkable, especially in this game. Thinking things are walkable, they're actually a wall, or there's a ceiling or something above you. How Gollum Twins is like, there's no space between Gollum and Twins. So it's like a username. So I'm wondering if the like cooking part is also like the kind of like frantic part in the background is also panning, or if it's not.
It's hard to tell here. I would have to go and listen to like the soundtrack version of it. But
Why to say it doesn't?
yeah, I think that's it. Really is something that shows up more towards the end of the game. Obviously,
Aren't
we're
you
towards the end,
distracted
which
by
is earlier.
the ambiguous brass instrument?
I needed to have hit this thing earlier. Now I'm gonna lose, but that's okay.
Oh. What do we say? This was like a cross between horn and trumpet.
Probably just like one of those like
Or trombone.
brass sounds on like
Brass.
the keyboard or whatever. It's like I
Yeah,
don't know what it is.
exactly.
Does anyone care?
Just like solo brass instrument.
But of course, like actual brass players listen to it. Like, wait, what is that?
Yeah, even though, you know, the sample, you can take the basic sound and then play whatever note on the keyboard, right? And that's how we get a lot of these samples. But the string ones don't bother me as much with the, like, obvious range issues. Like, even if I'm doing a transcription and I'm doing something with the cello, but I'm way up in the violin register, it doesn't bother me. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I know what's physically capable on the instruments, but it does not read as weird as brass in the wrong register.
What? I think it's the string instruments do have a little bit more flexible register. I mean, obviously, like, you know, you can't go below their lowest string, but like, there's an expectation that like strings can go up pretty high, whereas like brass instruments tend to have like a fairly limited range, but that's like kind of iconic to them.
Okay, chat has two wonderful things. It's cute, it looks like they're holding hands. I also agree. But more importantly, Curriculum Crasher pointing out that the Iron Orb sound effect shows us that the SBSP is basically similar to the NES sound effects. Something to be said for the overlap too of Nintendo and Super Nintendo. But, you know, early Super Nintendo, there were still NES games coming out pretty actively, and the approach of sound designers is probably going to be somewhat consistent. And I would imagine a lot of them were working on Super Nintendo games while they were working on NES games. So I'm sure it's no accident to hear those types of across the platform.
This is a later Super Nintendo game, though. I don't think we're still working on NES games by the time this comes out.
95, right?
I think so.
Last Super Nintendo or last NES game was 94, wasn't it?
Oh, did NES go on that long?
Yeah, it went on like forever. Gonna verify
That's
this.
crazy. I think Wario's Woods or the Jungle Book is the last one. One of those two.
Wario's Wood, yeah, 94.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
P.S. I own Wario's Woods for NES, and I love it. It's the best.
And but also, just because it was released in 94, my experience was I was playing NES games all through the 90s, and everything was kind of concurrent with Super Nintendo, and there really wasn't a lot of distinction for me. And I imagine, anybody that had both systems, that was probably a shared experience. You kind of collapse the timeline.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, I have to heal first, then save. That's how that works. Okay, so does that nuke kill itself? I want to talk about that.
Aww. I don't know what to say other than maybe.
Wow.
I mean, with the lack of perspective, we have no idea how far down it goes, so...
Maybe he went up, who knows?
I think I'm going to sub in this combo for the plot sequence that's about to happen, unless somebody else would like to see a specific character. But speak now. But I'm planning on this way because Marl interacts with Scala better and Frog interacts with the character on the right better.
I'm fine with having Frog in given that it's my, video game arranging name, so...
Alright, we'll do it. I love that even Frog has not put it together, by the way. You would think that he would know. The sword made from the red rock.
So one of my favorite games, when I see a name in the chat, is trying to figure out where are you? Curriculum crashed around like this is like Kevin Burkian.
That's who it is, I think.
Who are you people? Lava.
Oh, here's a new theme, right?
Gotten Lavos' theme before, right?
Yeah, we have gotten it before.
Yeah.
The kind of generic chromatic descent. There you go.
This theme has never really done anything for me.
Lavos' scream, meanwhile, is fantastic.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh man, I was right. Nailed it. Hi, Kevin.
If Magus would have, helped you out 16 seconds ago, maybe you could have done it, right?
Well, bad timing. Oh, that was like a Chrono Trigger pun. The game's about time. It's like in Back to the Future when Marty's like, if only I had more time. Wait a minute, I have a time machine. And then he goes back early.
very Azala-esque.
I do like that at this point, the game is essentially completely recast, and Magus is the protagonist.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because you're like, well, shoot, they're all dead, or at least, I mean, look at Frog. Look at that tongue sticking out of his mouth.
That's the best dead pose in any JRPG.
The real reason to bring Frog in your party for this.
That's right.
Also, with how important Magus becomes, all the little quotes of his theme that start cropping up from the first time you hear it. So you hear it in Shala's theme, and you hear it in the Undersea Palace. Like that makes, I mean, that feels like it makes sense given they're like seeding his importance.
For sure.
Also, the queen like riding Lavos is so weird.
That pose of somebody riding Lavos is reused in Chrono Cross, though, to great effect at the very end of the game.
I mean, I get it that she's really drunk on power, but it's like, how do you think this is going to end for you? So what is that? Is that like his soul?
Yes, it is. The anime version shows like very Dragon Ball Z-esque his soul popping out of his body. That's what that's supposed to be.
Ooh. Intense. And what a weird time for this theme to show up.
This theme is the theme of the game.
I would rather it be Scala's theme here, honestly.
I know.
Well, it's, I've associated this with the cathedral, but in general, I associate it with, like, mystical power more generally, and I think that's the association here. She's using her pendant's power to send them away.
I feel like it also has the right emotional valence for this scene. Like it's hard to describe, but like it feels like there's a sense of confusion, defeat, frustration, because it just keeps circling in on itself.
Yeah.
I agree. Now, what's interesting is subsequent translations add one extra bar of dialogue there for Scala.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did she say?
It might come back to her one more time, and my memory might be rusty, so I want to wait until this whole cutscene's done.
This is a pretty brutal scene here. I was not okay with this when I was little.
I feel like in Final Fantasy VI, when the world gets destroyed, they spare you
opposite of
having to
Winning
watch it.
Continent.
Here, it's like you have to watch everything happen.
You know how I wanted this to end was like the Earthbound get to like move up into the cool sky thing. And we eliminate all the class warfare. That's the cool ending. No,
Yeah, but this is awful. This was always so traumatic.
Well, you are eliminating all the class warfare. You're just doing it in a way that you don't want.
Come on, woman.
Okay, so it looks like we're not coming back to Scala. what happens is she stands up again, looks to the side, and her dialogue box says ... exclamation point.
Whoa.
No, and the reason
What's
for that is because it's that moment right before she dies that she splits the dimensions in twain and causes the events of Chrono Cross to occur.
What?
Oh.
And they add that one extra dialogue box so you realize she looks across time and space and sees the panther.
Oh my god.
So, like, that tiny little dialogue box actually has, like, ridiculous amounts of value.
I like wrote it down.
Jeez.
You just blew my mind.
Exclamation point.
Yeah, like, she stands up and looks extremely startled in subsequent editions of the game for a split second. Also, I know we've kind of hated on it now and then in terms of character development, but I love Chrono Cross. Like, it is the best.
I'm just gonna have to play it. Like,
It has
for
a
real.
great soundtrack. Like,
I know that's for sure.
like I might even like it better than
Oh
this,
my
but
God,
it's like it's so close.
I don't think it's ever not going to be too soon for me to hear Hold the Door. And I won't say anything else because I don't know if there's folks in the stream that aren't caught up on Game of Thrones, but it's devastating.
Yeah, but it reminded me the kind of like time stuff that happens in that in that season. Oh,
Super relevant reference.
very relevant.
Frog's croak really stands out in the silence. Everything's so silent because everything just died.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad that I had Frog along. I forgot that the croak came every time he
Yeah.
speaks.
This is like a nice extended silence here. I'm digging it.
I think the player is still processing that you're not going to get Chrono back in the party. Like, it's not immediately apparent because you just assume that you're going to have him around. Until this screen comes up and you're like, oh, damn it.
Yes, this is the oh shit music right here.
Yeah.
Because this music is so like, all right, you know, here we go. This is like normal, but he's not there. So that's how you know this is normal.
Yeah. There was something about the end of time theme that always made me sort of sad. I think it was the way that the game forced me as like a young kid to contemplate the idea of time stopping and how freaky that was, and that the theme is, you know, so repetitive and cyclical, and it's the same thing over and over again because it has no progression. So that popping up there is like, this is a new normal, but it's also like the end of time.
Well,
Yeah.
Insertion there too.
So, really quick, the dodo birds. One of them is in a tunnel, one of them you have to jump down on top of, and one of them you just run and catch. The jumping down one is the hardest one.
Well, damn.
Oh, but let's notice the Happy Zeal theme is now playing down here.
Yeah,
That's right.
It feels like it's so incongruous now.
Well, look, the wind is gone. The Ice Age is over, technically. Again.
Yes, yeah.
Because Lavos has now taken control and burdened the Earth, the Ice Age is ended, and we can all be beneficiaries of that.
We were talking earlier about the heat and the warmth and the timbres, and you know, I think we mentioned that there's some cool in here, but it's got kind of a tropical-y vibe. I think I'm saying that because of Gamelon, but it is really, really interesting that it's indicating a warming up of the continent.
Yeah, for sure.
Dana.
That's perfect.
What? That's amazing.
I'm writing that down too.
Well, this came up in a conversation because I actually got woman-splained.
Yeah.
And I was trying to describe the experience to somebody because I was like, it was really weird if somebody that they had just Facebook friended me and then they like splained all over a post of mine, and I was like, this is weird. You don't know me. And I was trying to come up with a word for it.
That's so
Like,
good.
way not good enough, so matronizing took its place.
Dalton's ability to beat you there has always really annoyed me. It's like, why didn't you save your whole town?
Right?
Your whole damn town.
Oh, I enjoy this one. I enjoy this part because you don't have to fight everything, which I always think is a cool option. And it's like got like a stealth component where you can avoid fighting things, but also you have to like slowly retrieve your stuff. I love this type of video game challenge.
Okay, so I'm not opposed to it specifically, but I brought Isla for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that reason is that she's badass. She doesn't have weapons. She just punches things to death. And so
Yeah.
you don't have any equipment. She can still punch things to death. You don't have to stealth
Right.
around and take a long time.
Right. I always do it the really sneaky way. But that's true. I think I usually have her along. I also just like that for the first time you can have an all-lady party. Girl power.
I wish you had the White Rock already so you could have, like, the girl power party. But, alas.
Yeah. So Marl's obviously Baby Spice.
Oh,
Isla's
no.
probably Scary Spice, though she is
Right.
white.
But Scary Spice always had the kind of like leopard print and the tail and the
Exactly.
ears and stuff. So
And
yeah.
the big hair.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Luca doesn't fit. She
Sort of.
looks closest to
Sporty.
posh, but she's not posh enough.
Sort of Sporty Spice.
It worked. I always thought Sporty had one of the better voices of the group.
Charlie's Angels is maybe a better comparison.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've just been on a 90s pop kick lately, so
Also, I will say, like, I realize they don't have weapons necessarily, but you have, like, the most badass magicians in all of history, literally. And you can't do it? I mean...
I love the like high tinkling ostinato in the battle theme, and it's really hard to pick out like what the pitches are, and like it's really like indistinct. I think because there's a lot of like a close delay on it, so it's like echoing. but it's-
Yeah, the
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Looking
similar to the
something
kind
same
of
battle theme.
Zeal, the kind of Zeal-ish, like
Yeah.
but like writ like really frenetically.
Yeah.
I will figure this out.
I've tried to transcribe it before, and it's like I have something that sounds like mostly right, but I'm pretty sure that I'm missing something. I mean, it's also like a little pentatonic fragment, like
Hey,
a bass line.
link your transcription so Dana doesn't plunk all night.
I think it's just a D minor pentatonic that we're
Yeah,
noodling in,
it's
right?
mostly just exactly what the order is and what the because there's like a little like viola thing that happens.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, right, I don't have any gear. Crap. It is actually possible to finish this dungeon and leave all of your gear behind, by the way.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Right.
Fanfares are fun. You just used bite on a bite.
What do you think about the, like, metallic, twangy, droney sound?
Other than it sounds really, really like exactly what I would think the inside of this Blackbird plane, machine, airship would sound like.
I feel like it would be interesting to there's all of these high drones in this part of the game. Like there's like 3 or 4 different ones that we've encountered at this point, and they all are like slightly different. And I don't know, like we could figure out if there's like a pitch relation between them or something like that. I doubt there's anything along those lines, but it is interesting how it's like a little like thematic connection. They all have a different thing. Yeah.
With the other like string drones.
See, here Luca will hit the guy with the gun instead of shooting. Ooh, it is like a wine glass resonating. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good. I was just gonna say that's a good analogy.
Okay, not that way. What's in this door? It's stuff. Excellent. Yeah, that was bad.
You're going in on those bad puns there.
Thanks for the verbal confirmation.
No problem. I'm happy to provide.
I love when like a little inadvertent like beat pattern comes out of scrolling through menus.
Yeah. You just hold it down.
Like I guarantee someone has like done some kind of beat just like using menu sounds. And I wonder if you could actually manage to do it like just using your controller to like keep it in time. But
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I don't know who I was talking about this with, about like sort of like if there's background music, like sometimes like just pressing menu things to the beat, so, like you just sort of get tired of the music and you kind of like entrain like what you do and these sound effects. I have definitely like made my own composition in a way.
Yeah. No, I mean I wonder how many people do that because it because they're pitches, so you can even kind of interact with a lot of if you like really pay attention to what makes what sounds.
Yeah.
All right, I was gone because I was listening to the track isolated, and I was isolating the voice. And that's like my 2-second transcription, so it could be wrong. But I posted it in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like how it's got the question mark.
Oh. Wait. I think I've done it better!
Yeah, that does look like it could be it. I think I had always assumed it was like more. I'd always heard it as like a straight string of 16th notes, but I think that it actually isn't, and that's part of what was like throwing me off. So the little rhythmic thing at the beginning, where there's the 8th note, I think that actually is part.
Yeah.
Alright, this part is so annoying to find all your stuff. Here we go.
Oh my god, the sleeping sound, yeah.
Hello, hexachord.
Alright, that's everybody's everything back. I think we're ready to go now.
So many ledger lines. This is great.
Yeah, that's what happens when you extract MIDIs from like the game files.
Oh, it's
Also, the accidentals
I
are sometimes
see,
really
yeah.
weird, and like the rhythms sometimes get notated really bizarrely, and like the best is when a percussion track gets weirdly encoded as being pitched and it shouldn't be. And you get back for yourself, and you're like, wait, what is this?
You play it back and like question reality. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I usually just do them with my ears, because like I find it visually just too much when I drop something in MIDI into one of my notation software things. Most of them are not very good for that, but I also use freeware notation software, so that could be part of it too.
Yeah, when I'm arranging tracks, I definitely like to do it mostly by ear, because sometimes I get something wrong, but I end up liking what I got wrong, and it can be a nice like jumping off point for something, for a direction to go with the arrangement. But then sometimes you're really frustrated that you can't hear exactly what's happening, so looking at a key extraction is nice. Yeah, it saves a lot of time too.
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky with a MIDI, and sometimes you just straight up don't.
It sucks. Now that we're at the scene, I'm gonna take a break. to grab a different drink.
I'm trying to decide
I need a
what my
drink
next
here pretty
one's
quick
gonna
as
be.
well.
I'm stuck drinkless in the practice room, so.
Drinkless. Aw, sad. Gotta plan ahead, bring a flask.
Yeah, clearly I should have done that.
Yeah, that is obviously the ideal way to go. This just takes me back up, doesn't it? Alright, get me down on the
to
ground.
respond
so
to
I can figure out where
the
to go.
conversation here about Cardamom Dragon, I usually use game ones, but the issue is I would rather just transcribe it by ear and slow down, isolate channels, slow down tracks, and do it that way, because that to me takes way less time than doing the cleanup that allows me to get the good notation. But I think it's just like, which type of tedious do you want to deal with when you're doing a transcription?
Right.
I'm always nervous doing fan-arranged midis because, like, it has to be right in a published work, and what if I have to admit that I was too lazy to do it myself?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the Manhattan should be your
Yeah,
drink
fancy
for sure.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so I can do... There's different types of Manhattans I can do here. I have Aztec chocolate bitters, I have vanilla bitters, I have lavender bitters, and I also can do a really good, like, apricot Manhattan where I add a little bit of apricot brandy to the regular Manhattan.
The apricot brandy one sounds really good.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I would like live vicariously through that drink if you had it.
Well, if you ever come visit, I've been known, that's usually one of the first things I make people when they come over.
Yeah.
Also, Dana, I haven't told you yet, and the people watching can't see you, obviously, but your new glasses look really nice.
Thank you! Here, I'll post a photo from Instagram so everyone can vicariously appreciate.
Or just actually appreciate.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually got 2 new pairs of glasses, so I posted pictures of both of them. And I should jump on to what Kevin's saying here, that that's one of my all-time favorite NES techniques, is doing the double tracking so that the single MIDI line occupies the 2 sound channels to get the faux reverb. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's really disorienting when you're going to do a transcription and you don't realize that, oh, pulse 2 is just like phased off a little bit, and then you isolate it. That's really weird.
It sounds so weird when you isolate it, yeah.
And I haven't come up with a good way I like to notate that other than to just put unison and then put a note as to how far behind it is.
Usually what I do, for what it's worth, is I will just notate it without the echo, and then in a footnote I'll say, this line is repeated at like 1/8 note off or 1/16 note off, in a separate channel for an echo effect. So that when
Yeah,
you look at the transcription,
I'll still record like this, like pulse 2 if it's happening, and I'll just put like a little note on the score itself and say like, oh, it's however many milliseconds behind or whatever.
It was an interesting conversation about adhering to. Do you like even? I think we had talked about this. Even when you're like trying to write put out the transcriptions, like, do you notate it by channel? Do you put it in a kind of like orchestral order? Is that easier to read, or do you sort of adhere to kind of something more or less as it was programmed? Like, there's kind of a distance between like music notation as we understand it as music people, and like actually how, especially once you get into like weirder things like these effects and like sound, the way that like certain sound effects are in the channels as well, and
for me, it depends what I'm trying to say about it. If I'm talking about technical details, I'll do it in a technical way. If I'm talking about it as a piece of orchestral music, then I'll analyze it as if it were like, I'll call the violins, for instance.
Yeah.
I mean, as a lot of you saw from the transcriptions I've posted and also from some of my more recent papers, I've taken to doing by sound chip regardless of instrument changes. I find that to be more insightful for the types of things I like to say. But I also just want to normalize like that type of score format. And Kevin actually, that was one of his comments on the Twitter back channel during my most recent Final Fantasy VI paper, was just that he liked, seeing that I was going by SPC channel.
Right.
Yeah. No, that was really awesome.
But it absolutely can get frustrating. There's in Kefka where you're going between like harp and snare drum every other measure, so you're constantly having to make those instrument changes. It's kind of annoying, but you also have the label popping up constantly whenever there's an instrument change. So where I find it a little harder is some NES games where I can't really definitively say it is this instrument or that instrument.
Right. Like a triangle wave.
Yeah, like it'll be something in the pulse channel, but it's changing between sounds in the pulse channel, and I never really know what to call it. So that's work more on, what if there's a good way to refer to these. If we just want to say this channel is the MIDI, this setting, or if we want to come up with some sort of correlate to a real world instrument.
Yeah.
I'm sure, Kevin, you probably have thoughts on this as well, kind of what to do about NES instrument names. Well, I'm thinking BRB.
And sometimes if the music has been like rearranged within a newer, like I'm thinking of like the Legend of Zelda theme between the NES and between the Super Nintendo, you can then sort of say, oh, so this was supposed to be kind of brass, this was supposed to be, like trumpet versus trombone or something like that. But I usually just like, I label like channel or like triangle wave, square wave, like that.
I love the fourth wall break here, where the Chrono Trigger main theme plays and he's pissed.
Yes! I love it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's the only time in the game they break the fourth wall like that, and it's very well played. He's such a D-bag. Like, everything about him is annoying.
Unfortunately, I don't think there are enough characters for you to name it the Arrow Imperial Dalton earlier in the game, which would be really funny.
This is not the Arrow Imperial.
It's like one of my favorite things to do in video games when someone like changes their name or like talks about a name, like plugging in the other name that they
The real name or something.
So like you name Robo R66-Y.
Right,
Or-
Red 13, you name
Len.
Sonic, or like
Right. My favorite one is actually if you name Princess Garnet in Final Fantasy IX. If you name her
Sarah?
Princess Garnet and she's like, oh, I'll call myself
Oh,
something different. I just won't use Princess anymore. That's normal.
Never mind. Did I give away a big thing? Never mind.
By the way, if Marl is on the Blackbird, it is always Marl who jumps first.
Because she loves him. Salt left.
I love that Dalton is comically not good, by the way.
It's like a women's march for sure.
Alright, for those joining me on Skype. Woo! Manhattan!
Nice.
Oh man, yeah, we're watching Jaina pour it now. That is...
Into a pre-chilled glass that I keep in my freezer.
that's like really fancy.
It's partially that I just don't have a lot of space to store glassware, and so...
That too.
In a church
So-
space.
Yeah.
It seems fancy, but it's like I don't have any space.
So these stemless martini glasses that I use, I actually keep them in the freezer. Yes, this one is really strong. I will post the recipe in the comments.
Yeah, Kate, I know, Dana's just showing us all up here.
This is because I'm at home. I have all of my fancy things. I only have like...
I need to be
Nice
in your
gin.
home with all of your fancy things. I want some booze.
The thing is, I don't have like a very well-stocked bar. I just have the things I like. So I've got my favorite gin, which is the Botanist. If anyone hasn't had it, it's freaking delightful. I have Bullet Rye. I have apricot brandy and apple pap. And then I basically have like 8 different kinds of bitters. And same for me.
Yeah, Kate, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to have alcohol up there. But there's a fantastic sports bar just down the block that is pretty quiet and is a good place for everybody to go.
Ooh.
Hey, we get a piece of new music, and it's one of the last times
music.
that's going to occur for us.
Anyone else think this seems cheesy?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
it's so cheap.
so like Weather Channel, like Vaporwave would
Totally.
have a field day with this. Like,
Yeah, it's very like Wii Sports, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sports, like a Nintendo menu.
To be fair, airship music is always kind of like the trashiest music in any game.
The trashiest?
Yeah.
In
like-
FF4, it's awesome.
and
Don't
in
even.
6, it's awesome
Okay.
too, because you've got the Searching
6
for
is
Friends
great,
theme as your airship
But
theme.
yes,
Okay,
later
I'm thinking
Final
of-
Fantasy, I think so as well.
The first airship theme in 6 is a little cheesy.
Yes, I agree with that. The Setzer's theme is a little cheesy.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, the best airship theme, though, if we're talking about JRPGs, is Can You Fly Sister from Seiken Densetsu 3.
I don't know that one.
Oh,
What?
holy cow, it's good.
I would have to.
Your airship is this
I like it.
giant mommy dragon that you just ride on at the end of the game. You play this flute and she comes and picks you up.
This is pretty groovy though.
Yeah. And No, the B section is really good.
I think this whole thing is very elevator. Like,
I love that the lead sample was named Kenny G in the riff. Nicely done. Every time this name comes up, it just like makes my heart happy.
I know, right? Hold on.
Unlike the sealed door theme, the open door. What is that one called? It
Yeah,
shows
sealed
up
door,
like,
yeah.
oh my god. We've talked about how that one like wrecks my soul.
Yeah.
That's another one of the ones that Nobuo and Matsu did.
Thanks a lot, Uematsu.
I want this guy to move, but he's not doing it. That's okay, I guess.
Yeah, there's just everything about this theme is so good that the echo, the ostinatos, the combination of instruments and textures, the nostalgic element.
This melody lies really nicely on the viola, and just a kind of side note.
What was that?
This melody lies really nicely on the viola. I have an arrangement of it for viola and piano, and it's like it's really satisfying to play.
So when are we going to get together and play some game music? Because I have a lot of string arrangements.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like
I would
40 now?
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So earlier in the chat, I posted my students have put on a couple game music recitals, so I have all of that, plus all the stuff that I've just like arranged for fun that we'll sight read.
Yeah, I have a growing list of arrangements at this point too. It's like and an Excel spreadsheet of like things I want to arrange. So.
Yeah.
I love again Magus as the protagonist of this game.
He's a fun character. We did fan person about Zeal music last time.
Yeah, we did. We totally did.
Well, there's a
We're
reason
just
it's like
sitting there
one
like-
of the most covered tracks.
Oh my god. Yeah. Perfect. Practically perfect.
Yeah, I think, what did Shark say last week? Terra's theme and then Corridors of Time are like the two most covered things.
I think that was right. Yeah.
Ugh. This sound effect, man. It's so gross.
I've been trying to figure out what makes up that sound effect, and I have not been able to parse it. It's really hard.
Because it has a screech, and it also has like a low, like dragging.
Yeah, something
Right.
your car might make if it were like having some sort of.
Oh my god! If my car was making
What kind of
this
cars
noise-
have you been in?
Holy moly!
Look, I'm not rich.
Today we learned
So-
that Julianne drives a Tesla.
Okay, it's the wave sound effect from Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, I think it probably is reused.
Yep.
It most definitely. This is us trying to revive Sid by feeding him fish
Exactly.
and laughing at Dana because Dana never saw the ending where you lose Sid and she tries to jump off the cliff.
Oh, I didn't even know he could die. I'm like, whatever.
Oh no, it's
He could live.
way better
I
if he
always
dies
tell
though. He has to die because that scene is like the most gut-wrenching scene in the whole game.
It is pretty good, yeah.
I was pretty attached to keeping him alive once I found out. I was like, I don't know if I'm like
You can go
emotionally
back.
prepared for this.
Yeah.
Now, in Final Fantasy VI, it's much better if the character dies there. Here, technically, I could kill Magus right now if I felt like it, but we're not going to do that.
Aw.
If you do, though, Frog reverts to human form at the end of the game.
Yes, he does. Indeedly do. Oh, and we get his theme here.
Yeah, and
Me?
it'll keep playing his theme if you choose to
Bro.
fight him as the battle starts. But I really feel that it's not in Frog's character to fight him here.
Just fades out.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
I know, right?
Aw. Friendship.
Treachery!
This is like in Mortal Kombat. Friendship, friendship. You've chosen not to do the fatality.
I don't know. I feel that Magus should be a part of this, of your party, so strongly that, like, I don't even think you should be able to revive Chrono if you don't choose him, because Magus is the one who points you there.
Hi, percussive event. Good to see you. Okay. Also, how badass is it that he just like floats on a leg? Like, how-
I know, right? He's like
Yeah.
super Dragon Ball Z, even more so than the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
One
Definitely
day
not
he'll
my-
move.
Not my favorite vampire type, but that's difficult. There's a lot of good vampire stuff that exists.
And here it is, my favorite
Oh.
track.
All right, take it away, Will. What do you got?
Oh man, like I love the opening intro is like in B minor, and then it shifts like with like no preparation into G minor for this part.
I love how we've gotten mostly orchestral music for the rest of the game, and it's like super jazz to close it out.
Yeah.
Super cool jazz.
Also, there's
Oh,
panning.
yeah.
There's more of that same panning with the little
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
ostinato.
Everything about this track is just amazing.
And there's like no middle register stuff until the very end of the loop. It's like really like just low and high.
Like disparate.
Yeah, we're probably not actually going to get to the Black Omen tonight, so I'm going to let it play for a moment here.
Yeah. Let's do.
Here's your chromatic descent.
I need to find that article
and-
for next time. I'll do better about that.
That section always reminds me a little bit of the prehistoric era themes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I have no technical jazz knowledge whatsoever, but I'm very comfortable with badass as a term for this piece of music.
Yes.
I mean, if Will Gibbons can claim burbles, then like, there's no limit.
There's no limit. Not in Ludo Music College.
Oh, speaking of Will Gibbons, my god, that picture of him is the best thing.
I'm really jealous.
So for those who don't know, although who doesn't, Will Gibbons did a photo shoot for some magazine down in Fort Worth about nerd culture, and it's a photo of him like suited up, but like opening his shirt Superman style, and then he has like a Nintendo shirt on underneath his suit, and his ties like flying off into the.
We need to send a copy of that Fort Worth Magazine article to Geek and Sundry and blow up that Twitter account of his.
It was Ludo Music College, as Kate said. So he was texting me when he was trying to figure out what to wear for that. And he was like, well, I've got this Nintendo shirt that's like red, white, and blue. And I think my response was like really, really sarcastic. It was something like on a scale of 1 to Uncle Sam cosplay, like how red, white, and blue is it?
Very nice.
One last note about Black Omen that I really like is that it's one of those tracks that actually goes back into the like slow intro.
Yeah, we were talking about
yeah.
that.
Like, I think like 2 weeks ago, or maybe the one. I don't remember which track it was, but it feels like it's kind of startling when it does it. It's really cool.
the return to the, because usually there's a kind of like a few bars of intro in these games,
And then the loop starts after it.
It's sort of the loop is after it, but the return to the slow intro is pretty noticeable.
Although Magus' theme does that.
Right.
Yeah,
I remember
that's
we made a
what
big
we're
note of
talking
that.
about. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I remember us commenting on how cool that was that it like kind of messed with the flow. Oh, now we get the music box.
Memories of Chrono.
Which it's like I thought this was her theme. Like why does he get to take it over now?
Because she exists based on, a male character. Aww. Hey. Like, I have nothing but the song. I actually also have an egg. Pure potential. And this is silence here. In case you couldn't tell that. But it isn't like, the big Chrono Trigger theme or something.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it makes it feel particularly important.
And then
And then the little fanfare.
And then that goddamn fanfare. That fanfare.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cheesy.
It's like
It is super cheesy.
Also, got one C trigger is hilarious to me for whatever reason.
The C trigger is very funny, yeah.
Just go.
I like that Specchio's like, holy buckets.
poorly happy music. Not like melancholy and like beating on flat sticks. This is just pure like.
I mean, it's all like 145 heavy.
Oh, rats, he swung first. Well, I lose. That's okay.
I posted a picture of Will Gibbons' modeling debut in the chat in case anybody somehow missed that. It's a pretty entertaining image. And if anyone followed the conversation on it, Elizabeth Hambleton asked how they got the tie to flip up like that. And Will pulled back the curtain for us and said that there was actually a guy that would come in and flip the tie right before the picture was taken every single time. It kept hitting him in the face.
Ooh, I don't know.
In which track?
In Jolly Old Specchio, I think, yeah.
Oh, the Specchio.
Yeah,
for
in the
rumba.
Specchio track, I think.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So we didn't talk about this track last time because none of us really wanted to. But I feel like we have to now. That piano is the best bass piano sound in like the history of the instrument.
It just comes in and the bottom drops out like your soul is just like leaving your body in agony.
Yeah.
relevant.
I love the shift from 5/8 to 6/8 that's just about to happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So-
Oh, I broke it.
Oh, that freaking fanfare.
There we go. A nice separation between the 5/8 and 6/8 sections.
It's amazing, like, the material is still really similar, like the melodic material, but it gets this kind of like waltz-like bass pattern to it that feels just so out of character with what came before it.
Here, there's in this B section, there's an accordion-like timbre in the mid-range
Yeah.
that I associate with like Professor Layton or Europe or. I don't know why I have that association, but
like millennial
I totally
hair
do.
Creeping it.
I think that bass pattern has a lot to do with the feel. There's something about 5 that always kind of propels forward, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It like falls over on itself. Whereas the 6/8 section is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's kind of that pa, and it's a little bit more staying in place.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I hear it in the opposite way, actually. I hear the 5 as kind of being one big beat. I don't break it into 3 plus 2 or 2 plus 3 in my ear, at least. It feels like this one gesture that.
Oh yeah, that's not what I mean. I mean that it's partially the way that the arpeggio is constructed. Bum 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 bum. It's kind of cyclical. It's like rolling over on itself. I didn't mean that I'm hearing a division.
Well, I guess but I almost hear it as like an extension of a 4, so I actually feel like it's too long of a beat rather than.
Then like that's interesting. I can't even hear it anymore now that we're back here. So.
And now, like we've had so many changes in themes here.
Yeah, it's like all over the place right now.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
Wish we could hear that fanfare again.
No,
I don't know how to go cause the fanfare
Fanfare.
again. So, question: if you don't get the clone, can you still go get a Chrono clone from the fair, or are you screwed?
I don't know.
By the way, there's one more change of theme.
Oh my God, how many? Too much happening at the same time. This is like fighting Kefka when you were like beasting it and getting through levels so quickly. And I'm like, wait, so much to talk about.
Feed that cat.
No, one thing I've not done is I've not gotten the cat a mate or any cat food. I'll do it off stream. That takes a long time at the fair.
Oh, Dominic, that's the perfect description of that theme. Ultra 80s synth that's nostalgic about the 70s, and too deep in the 90s all at once. That is like...
That's amazing.
That's exactly what that airship theme is.
That's like a virtuoso description of it.
Let's just listen to it for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
The like weird murmuring in the back of this like the like burbling. What is that?
It's just a very active bass hammer, right?
This bass is very 70s to me.
Is it the bass? Or is it something I don't know what I'm hearing. This one I was like, I hear a timpani! The prehistoric age! Right here, that burble.
Ba-dum-bum. That's a string instrument of some kind, well down into the mix.
Yeah, it's super low.
As in the volume is super low.
Yeah. It's definitely a banjo.
Yeah, it's electric banjo or something.
Electric banjo. The unsexiest instrument of all time.
Worse than the alto clarinet?
Good point. Game, set, match.
I am playing on SNES 9X. How do I do that? Let's see here.
The millennial whoop.
Yeah, well, there's the question about how we would describe
here we go.
zeros or tens.
I'm going to disable all the channels, guys, and we'll enable them one at a time. And track down exactly what we're listening to.
This is so good.
Oh my god.
Sneaks into twang sounds. Everyone's killing it in the chat tonight. Just like your phrasing is so spot on. Kind of electric piano, right?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even know what anything is anymore.
Yeah.
So it's so confusing.
Oh, now patch change on the same channel, the melody instrument becomes the brass,
right.
but channel 1 is that pizzicato and the brass,
Okay.
which is kind of interesting to note. I'm gonna turn off the melody now and listen to the other stuff.
Okay.
Because we know where this is going, right? Ooh, I like this group though. That was cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's going off.
Yeah,
me
that's like
practicing piano.
yeah, it's like an electric piano with like way too much reverb on it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, you're a little kid, you turn on the hall and the chorus effects as high as they can go, and you're like, oh, this is amazing. I sound great. All right, we're going to disable that one and go to channel 3.
You're having a really good time tonight. So just
Exact same
more
story, but
harmless.
different notes.
This
Harmony,
track is
yeah.
just 3-year-olds on a piano. Okay. Where's the
It's
verbal
like
though?
pulling back the curtain on like some like horrifying like.
Terrible.
I know, right? All of us, like, 5 minutes ago, were, like, bopping our heads and having a good time, and now we're like, what is this garbage?
We were talking about the 70s and feeling nostalgic.
All right, here's
Wow.
channel 5. I do want to find that
But-
sound that Julianne's talking about, because I...
But in my case, it's like anachronistically nostalgic.
Ooh,
I was
this is it,
alive
this
in
is it.
the 70s. Oh,
Ooh.
Oh.
oh my gosh.
This is the magic.
The
Oh
magic.
shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've,
you know what
I've
this,
never like heard this sound before, but I don't know like.
you know what this
what?
reminds me of? There was a video game. It was a PC game.
All right, now that we found
In-
it, I'm going to turn everything else on again. We can keep listening
that-
for that.
Is this an electric band? How does this come out of that? This is like an emergent, like it totally doesn't make any sense. It's amazing.
Okay, does anybody remember the video game MTV Music Generator?
Yes, yes.
That burbling is totally one of the sound effects in that game.
Huh.
It's basically like crappy synthesizer samples, and then you can like layer them up to make your own songs. There wasn't a lot to it, but I had it, and that was like such a strong, like, oh my god, that's MTV Music Generator right there. I wonder if there's like a playable version of that online. That would make me really happy. Also, I'm gonna look because I don't want to talk about this theme. This theme makes me want to cry in a corner.
I really like on this theme that there's no bass except for that one piano note every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty powerful.
That really helps. It creates a music box effect without using the music box timbre.
Yeah.
And it stabs you in the heart every time that low note does come in.
Yeah, it does. It totally does.
Whoa! MTV Music Generator is going for $65 on Amazon.
Wow.
You can also buy it used for $9.69. Plus $4.67 shipping. I wonder if I can even play this on anything I own right now.
That modulation right there at where it loops back on to the beginning again is really. I don't know, like I can't remember exactly what key we've ended up in relative to the tonic, but
It's
it's
a very
really weird
smooth
shift.
progression that gets us there, though. It's very nice.
Yeah. Also, this little thing looks so much like Wadabu from Dragon Warrior Monsters. If any of you have ever played that.
No.
Here, I'll find a picture of Wadabu.
Yeah, now I must know.
See. Okay, that should be it.
By the way, I think we should finish this dungeon and then be done. Maybe do a short side quest if we have time, but no big, long things after this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. That does kind of sort of looks like a Moogle.
Yeah, but like a blue
And
a bloogle if you are a
a
noogle.
a blue noogle.
I love that we were both going for like two like horrible puns on that at the same time.
Bloogle is pretty good. So, trivia. You notice there's wind effect in the background there and here. The first time I played Chrono Trigger was on an emulator that couldn't handle transparencies. And so to climb that section, I had to choose between seeing where the tree was or seeing the wind. I couldn't have both.
Oh wow. Oh no.
And it was bad. By the way, for a final party, are we going to do Chrono and the two ladies, or are we going to do Chrono Magus Frog?
Two ladies. Well, that's what I would do.
Okay.
They're like the best friends or whatever.
Piano ostinato is kind of like the one in Black Omen. I've never noticed that connection until just now.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice that either.
It's like the same register and same kind of alternating, like compound melody pattern. I don't know really what to make of that thematically, but
I really
it's my
wish
observation.
that when they cut Isla's side quest, they had chosen to put the singing mountain music here.
That would have been nice. I do like singing mountain music. It feels very Studio Ghibli. That's part of the theme is actually the most like in the room in the like you're getting into a boss battle.
The reason I have Frog and Marl along, by the way, is because Glacier is single target. And because they can do this.
Julianne, I like your also lol. Also lol.
Yeah, I'm gonna refrain from playing Mickey's Playtown Adventure.
Why? That sounds like an excellent.
It's
Friday
all
night.
caps horrendous. I don't know. It's not a really good review.
That's like a deep cut there. Like,
That sounds like a fantastic review to me, for what it's worth.
all caps horrendous. Yeah. Well, if it's like The Room in its horrendousness, you know, there's something to be said for it.
P.S. Adding the trademark symbol after things is my new hashtag. One of the girls that played on the recital, Christina, she uses that regularly in her texts, and I'm so charmed by it. So I picked it up.
Very nice.
I still use hashtags, like, hashtag,
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, part of me like gets frustrated at the end of games when like new music is scarce and like hard to come by, but then it also makes new tracks go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I like recontextualizing existing tracks.
Yeah.
But I do feel like Final Fantasy VI did that a lot better than Chrono Trigger did. One of the things I really appreciate about the Zelda games, though, is that every dungeon has its own music, so you don't have these periods where, like, people like us have nothing to say because nothing is happening. Oh, that's actually very bad. If he hits the shell, I'm screwed. Yeah, even a whiff triggers. Great.
I mean, really, like, what is there to note about that? We've talked about the kind of hunting horn trope. The only other thing is just to note that the theme's basically constructed of going from the minor to the major third, right?
Yeah.
And then we have our little, like, prog rock moment, like, oh, 3-4, 2-4, 3-4.
Yep.
Changing meters.
The melody also hangs out on skill degree 5 a lot,
Yeah.
which is like it gives it a sense of like not settling really anywhere.
Yeah, and so this kind of modulation, along with the way that it modulates back, it's like a sudden modulation, and then it kind of does this part here is very disorienting, both metrically and both like harmonically and tonally. So even though there's very little musical material here, it sort of is disorienting enough in those ways. I mean, it does get repetitive, obviously, but it could be worse, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry for some fast forwarding, by the way. I thought I was going to die there. And I decided I didn't want to have to deal with it if I was going to actually lose. This is closer than it should be. I don't like this at all. There we go, finally.
Ugh. This part. Oh, never mind. You have no problems.
Yeah, I like that part.
So Dominic in the chat is noting in the boss theme that the drums go for melodic accompaniment instead of sticking to their regular rhythm. And I think it also relates to our discussions about impossible timpani, chromatic timpani, and like super melodic timpani being used as well. I don't think that correct, but kind of like the difference between the kind of percussion as like stable rhythmic metrical framework and the drums kind of having like kind of like a melodic agency here.
So, trivia, that helmet cuts shadow by 50%. I don't know if you caught it in the text as I was equipping it. There's also helmets that cut fire and lightning and water by 50%, but I've missed all of those. You have to charm specific enemies or bosses with Isla, and all of those are gone now.
Ugh, friggin' Lavos spawn.
I actually really like that that is a separate sound effect.
Yeah, the baby sound.
That's right, it's a baby sound effect of...
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the baby Lavo Sun doesn't have as like it doesn't have
It's not quite as
it's like whereas the Lavo stream, like you've got like really low register stuff and like really high register stuff. Everything.
Yeah, PTR Bob, Isla has the charm skill, which is this game's steal command. Alright, we're here. Maybe we will do one quick side quest. This went faster than I thought it would. If you don't have Marl here, by the way, you don't get like half of the cutscene that you do otherwise. If you bring like Robo and Isla and Magus, it's just like 6 lines of text, and then the jump, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta bring the right people. Yeah, this is way better text doing it this way. This is pretty hardcore.
I know, right? This is up there with the Final Fantasy VI scene.
Yeah.
I do like that for a moment the game's like, no.
Yeah.
And we get Zeal again. Because Zeal's just ominous as all get out.
Yeah, the eclipse is really cool too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have him along, a bonus line of dialogue here. I mean, he says nothing, but...
So by a bonus line of dialogue, you mean a bonus line of ellipses.
Line
That's
of
right.
dots.
Magus also reacts to himself, I guess, so there's your bonus lines.
Very Charlie Brown Christmas.
I don't disagree with that. He looks like a rag doll here. Which I don't know, maybe that's intentional.
Yeah, we never see his sprite like this, right? This is
Yeah,
kind of
correct. This is all unique stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the doll thing is also emphasized by the music box.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That could be why I kind of view him that way.
And also just like the childish or childlike nature of this scene.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
look
like-
at the expression on his face.
Like a boy sitting under the tree, you know.
Yeah.
They're only supposed to be like, what are they supposed to be, 14 or something in the strategy guide that I had.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say, since Jesse pointed it out in the chat, I played it before the stream started, but Laura Shijihara's lyrics for this song are really striking and good.
Mm-hmm. And like the childishness kind of belies what just happened, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You mustn't do that ever again. You can't die ever.
Yeah, don't die. Quit doing
Don't
that.
die. Just stop it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you don't have her along, like the scene ends right there with no hug. It's just like he's sitting there and then it's done.
Oh, that's so
I don't think I've
depressing.
ever. I always have her along. Actually, I think I've always seen this. Yeah.
So they don't have like other characters give him the giant hug.
Like a robot.
No, they don't have anything like
I
that.
want to see a robo hug.
The robo hug.
That's something it's tech. I just love trap.
Now we get the the Chrono Trigger theme because we have a renewed sense of purpose.
That's right.
Actually, the kind of the punctuating rhythmic stuff, I'm now connecting because we heard my moment earlier. I feel like there's that kind of like punchy chords that shut in on my moment.
Yeah.
They're great chords. They're like all major seventh chords, or some of them.
Yes.
Oh, it's mostly seventh chords, so you just get
These
nice
punchy
like, pitch.
sevenths.
Yeah.
Punchy sevenths. I like it.
My stage name.
Punchy sevenths.
All right, I'm gonna go do. Do I have time to do Frog's Quest or just the Probably just the Sunstone. So we'll take Luca.
Aw, look, our character sheet is full now. We have
Yep.
everybody.
Excellent.
Are we gonna get the awesome theme again?
Yes, we are.
It's so disorienting every time.
Oh, but not right now. There we go.
I will say, if Magus is piloting, when you leave the ends of time as he gets into the epoch, he says forward before they take off, which I think is really cool.
It's very Jean-Luc Picard of him. Make it so.
I wish my dad made me clothes.
Random.
Clothes that he names after himself.
I know. The Leonard suit.
I mean, I guess that's like what fashion designers do. So
That's true. Yeah, I like.
Actually, I have the wrong team for what I'm about to do.
Like a full dress.
Yeah.
I initially read the username in the chat as Xanax42, but it's not. It is not that. So Julianne, what's the deeper meaning behind hoagie time?
I really like hoagies, and I like when it is time to eat hoagies. That's
I see. So you're hoping that all the time is hoagie time?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
every time you post something, you're asserting that now is hoagie time.
Indeed.
You know, peanut butter jelly time is underrated. We really need more hoagie time. Speaking of musical memes.
Yep.
Sorry we're sitting in 2300 for so long, by the way. I had to be ready. I need Isla for this, though.
Yeah.
Oh, this music.
Oh, this boss is obnoxious.
Minoria Cathedral again,
God,
by the way.
Yeah.
Ah, now we get the secondary boss.
Level 2 boss theme.
Oh my gosh, we haven't had this one in a while.
Haven't.
No, we haven't. Yeah, this is a good boss theme. Yes, yes. Give me the blackmail. Oh, and then destroy me.
Now,
Oh.
I'm not sure if the flute up here is actually panning back and forth either.
Oh, yeah, huh. Doesn't sound like it to me right now, but also, like, I think this is compressing the panning
Yeah.
coming through Skype.
I love that chromaticism there. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da.
I love it.
Also, that trumpet or whatever it is melody, the little jump down, the weird arpeggio down, it's such a strange it's really great.
Yeah.
Because like the rest of it's all pretty like stepwise or hearing, and then there's like this pop up, which just feels very.
We also get our classic like prog rock insertion with multiple meters because we go into 3/4, and then we go back into 4.
Yep. Yeah, it's very similar structurally to the first level 1 battle theme.
Mm-hmm.
Boss theme, I mean.
This is definitely one of the ones with Impossible Symphony.
Yeah, I was just thinking this is sort of like stepwise diatonic symphony.
Exhibit A for Impossible Symphony.
Oh yeah, here's chromatic symphony. Worse.
I mean,
Yeah, this is the worst piece for chromatic timpani.
Whole like casino/game show element too is so weird.
Something about the timbre of that trumpet lead gives it that game show feel.
I like how it gets kind of stuck right here. The melody just repeats that same little gesture.
Yep.
It's almost like a retransition. It's like sonata, something like that.
I really don't like this boss, by the way.
You don't like this boss with his piece? I don't know what he said.
The boss, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's annoying.
The flute sonata is really funny. It's like very I don't know, like querulous. It's like it doesn't really. It feels like breathless and like really like anxious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's gonna kill him, rats.
Sort of like the rest of the music is like, yes, we are gonna fight this guy, and then the flute's like, do you
Like, are you
know?
sure this is a good idea?
Are you sure?
What always gets me, you have to select the right flame, right? And it tells you like it makes the noise when you get it right. It
Yeah.
sounds like a pause button theme to me, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
absolutely it
that's
does.
But I always heard it as like the game show, like not a game show, I don't know, or like a casino slot machine kind of thing, because it calls it a roulette.
Yeah. That just goes to show you I'm like carrying over things from other video games that like that to me just sounds so much like I'm pausing.
It's so cool.
Meanwhile, Chrono is not listening to the advice that Marley gave him about not dying.
I know, right?
Yeah, come on.
It's actually worth my time to pick up Luca here, because she's got the fire-resistant gear.
I like how the fire elemental is the one that died just now.
We've got to be getting close. I've hit it a lot, I feel like. Okay, so I was kind of banking on winning this rotation. Don't want to go out on a loss.
Every time.
Here, we're going to cheat, is what
That's
we're going
funny.
to do. Oh, it's not that one. Oh, not that one either. What do you know? What a shame. There are few bosses you can game like this, but this is one of them.
Hi.
Oh man, I'm psychic. That's the best. There we go.
Ah, so satisfying.
Even if I had to cheat a little bit, worth.
What's funny about Minoria Cathedral showing up in all these contexts is that I think it has the shortest loop time of like anything in the game.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But there's something about the cyclical.
Yeah.
It's timeless, right? It's
Very
both
timeless.
incredibly repetitive, but it also doesn't go anywhere. It puts you in that ritualistic space.
Yeah.
Where you're just
That
in
is
the
really
present
good.
moment.
Yeah.
Also, one of my favorite musical moments in the game is the organ in the cathedral that you play. It has like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's
fantastic.
just
those,
those
like,
three
really
chords. They're
groovy
so
chords.
good. Yeah, I know. They're- like normally those kind of chords, they're just like, oh, it's like a 1, 4, 5, but it's like no, these are like really
No.
like they're like ninth chords. And,
Yeah.
As I remember saying when we played it, it reminds me of a piece by Messiaen,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
and I'm gonna post it in the chat.
Oh, like this.
All right.
Oh yeah, the Apparition de l'Église Éternelle, if you know that one.
I don't think I do. I just know it's organ
Of
music.
course, that Messiaen piece.
I love Messiaen. I just never have really gotten into his organ music.
I don't know, it's something about the clustering of those songs. Also, give my technical pronunciation, I text better than I write, and then I speak it.
I haven't heard this in a
Jerky.
while.
Oh my god, the jerky side quest.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Where do you go buy the jerky?
In the present day, in that same town, in the inn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love how you just walk into this house and she's like, if only I had some jerky. Like, you know,
You're just like,
if any,
let me
if anything
go
like
1,000
signal
years in the
side quest
future.
for you, like
I know.
This is my favorite part of this game, though, is that these side quests are so silly and simple, and it's such a change in tone.
But like the mechanism is so fun because you are going between the times. Like
Right.
even though they're like so silly, it's like still really
yeah.
cool. You know.
I think it's at the snail stop, by the way.
Yes, you might be right about that.
Also, I love the sleeping song. It has like a little like deceptive move to 4.
Somebody should do a study of all of the different in themes in
Yes.
role-playing games.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
why
what,
lay
like,
me down
what
to
I
sleep?
believe. Absolutely, it's always.
All right. So, for those of you who haven't played the game before, there's a family who takes the sunstone from you. And turns out they're dicks. So what you have to do is make their ancestors be nice
Yes.
by giving them beef jerky. I'm not joking at all.
Yeah,
If you
don't
lay it all
sell
out
it.
there, it does
Give
seem
it.
kind of.
My children are going to learn how to share.
Yeah, my
And you're
children
like,
won't be annoying
no,
tools.
Thanks to
I like
years
how-
of jerky, which is
And I love how
ironic, right?
this lasts like hundreds of years that the children are not jerks.
That's right.
Don't just get like random bad apples in there.
The next time one of you has a problem with me, I'm gonna blame it on my ancestors from 400 years ago.
If only they had been given some jerky.
That's exactly what you're going to say, too. You're going to be like, well, if you'd given my ancestors jerky 400 years ago.
That's right.
Then I wouldn't be such a jerk now.
I have to go check on the sunstone first.
Jerky prevents jerks.
Oh, man.
I was proud of that one.
Pretty good. I mean, my standards are pretty low, but I still think that's good.
Little tantalizing hint of memories of green there.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Oh, it's alright.
Here it is. Yes, we took it. Alright, back one more time.
I hope there are no like side effects for time travel, you know, like jet lag or something like that, because otherwise, you know.
I really like
You're like-
jerky prevents jerks, by the way. That's outstanding.
You just come back and it's like a colony of
Delicious.
bacteria.
Oh, or that.
The amount of silly that we're getting because no new themes are happening.
I know. And this
It's always
is just
bad
a
news for
ton
us.
of cleanup too.
Oh my god.
I do like the beef jerky silliness. We're gonna do one more quick silly thing that's normally optional, so I wouldn't do it if we were trying to save time. But since we have only 5 minutes till midnight, I'm gonna go do it really quick because I like that it's in the game.
That was also the most epic fanfare. Like, it just goes on forever.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's not.
I love
Here we
that
go.
the sunglasses, by the way, are like the game's best item.
It is not at all the. But which I'm now just gonna refer to as that friggin' fanfare.
I feel like it's really hard to write a good fanfare.
It is really hard to write a good fanfare.
Yes. Oh hey, Black Helmet.
Yeah, we're not gonna visit that yet. Oh no, don't put the jerky in the sun keep. It's like super dried out and gross. Alright, where's Chorus? South of here. That's what we need next. Maybe? No. Here we go. So you see Toma a couple other times in the game, but he just kind of hangs out as this cool NPC.
Yeah.
He gives you his soda, which of course is not his soda in the uncensored version of the game. And if we fly forward 400 years, we have his gravestone to dump it on. Here we go.
Wait, it's always pop. It's not soda, or
No, I mean, in the uncensored editions of the game, it's like beer or whiskey or something like that.
right.
It's liquor, right? I mean, it's alcohol. Because you don't dump, like, a Pepsi on somebody's gravestone. That's not a thing. The pouring sound effect there is hilarious.
pour one out for your homeboy.
That's right.
You guys are right a minute.
Why do you think they picked like such a generic like?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Jewish last name? Just seems out of place. Does anyone else have last names? Like trying to think.
Right. We have a bunch of other stuff to do that we'll do next time. Like this castle is going to be all repaired. We got to go get the rainbow shell now that we found it from Toma. Got to go do Robo's thing in the future. Got to do that
Luca's
big
mom.
that big desert
I mean,
in the
not
southwest.
do her, but
That's right.
but help her out.
Is this like the Americas plus Japan, or what is this?
I don't know.
Oh, that does.
And something else. I don't know.
Japan's like way bigger. Maybe
Oh,
Australia.
okay. So it's been a very long time since I've played the Super Nintendo edition of the game instead of the DS version. The DS version adds the El Nido Triangle and Archipelago from Chrono Cross. And you can't land there or do anything, but there's like dots on the map of little islands.
Oh.
But it is not in the original. Anyway, I think that we'll call this home base for now, and we would go to the end of time like we usually do. And next time, I think we can probably get through the rest of the game, I would think. Because none of those individual side quests take long. And then there's just the Black Omen, and we're done.
That's exciting.
So,
Great.
thanks for tuning in, everybody. A special thank you to those of you watching from New York. Enjoy Music in the Moving Image. All of us wish that we were there. It really is the
Also-
coolest conference of the year.
Special thank you to Will for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you, Will, for
My
being our
pleasure.
guest
Thank
host
you
for the
all
week.
for having me.
All right, we will see everybody next time.